Are we smarter than our parents? The shocking decline of human IQ and focus. Ever wondered if we're really advancing, or if we're just losing our edge? It might sound simple, but the truth is making bold claims about humanity's declining smarts is easier than it seems. We've come a long way, from nearly banishing smoking in developed countries to replacing cigarettes with vaping, and yet, some signs suggest our brains might be hitting a rough patch. Think about the high prices we're willing to pay just to see a band live, with tickets soaring from an initial €86.50 to €400. We console ourselves that the wait in the ticket queue is worth it, imagining that the experience would have been a waste of time otherwise. Meanwhile, Americans, yes, those 77 million voters who backed Donald Trump, chose a leader who promised to cut prices with tariffs, despite every economist warning that would backfire. Sure enough, the impact was predictable, and now, a majority are unhappy with the outcome. Even in Rome, people patiently line up to catch a glimpse of a pope's body, then lift their phones overhead, staring at screens instead of the real thing. It's an odd kind of irrationality that's become part of human nature, but what I'm talking about runs deeper, something more intrinsic to our mental fabric. Recent studies show that our ability to reason and solve new problems might have peaked more than a decade ago and has been on a decline since. According to John Murdoch from the Financial Times, tests reveal cognitive skills in the general population are trending downward. What's causing this? Many point fingers at the pandemic, school closures, or even smartphones, but the slowdown was already happening long before our screens became ubiquitous. Remember the Flynn effect? A phenomenon where every decade, IQ scores increased, thanks to better nutrition, education, and health. Well, that trend appears to be reversing. Data from Norway and other countries shows IQ gains halting and even reversing, suggesting that my generation, possibly yours, might be less sharp than our parents. And the upcoming generation? They might be even more forgetful, less capable than we are now. One theory. We're aging as a society, and with age, our working memory diminishes. But a more convincing idea involves how we process information. In early internet days, we focused deeply on specific topics and communicated directly with friends. Now, we've transformed into passive consumers, scrolling endlessly through a chaotic feed of random images, gossip, and tragedy. Our brains aren't built to handle this barrage of random, unrelated info. Johann Hari, in his book Stolen Focus, highlights how our attention span is shrinking. When we get interrupted during complex tasks, it can take up to 23 minutes to get back in the zone. Most of us only get about an hour of undisturbed work daily and are distracted every 3 to 11 minutes, and let's be honest, we call it multitasking, but our brains are not designed for that. So, what's the fix? Some suggest handing over the reins to AI or surrendering to tech addiction. Others argue we need to regulate technology's influence on our minds. But action starts with us. Consider that we spend around 4.5 hours a day glued to our phones. Recognizing these issues is the first step. Technology's invasion into our focus is just one of many challenges. Stress, burnout, and the decline of sustained reading also play a part, but none are more obvious than how digital life impacts our ability to think clearly. If you're reading this on your phone, give yourself credit for still being here. Your mind's resilience is remarkable, even in an age designed to distract us.